Beeswax is amazing stuff. It's produced by honeybees to form the combs where both honey and life are stored in the hive, and it's also used in a variety of human products, including hair removal. But while wax is great for helping you look less like a werewolf, there are some potential side effects you should think about before deciding whether or not to manscape your chest.
No! Kelly Clarkson!
It's taken a hot minute for humanity to understand those side effects, though. Some sources date the practice of using wax for hair removal as far back as the ancient Egyptians over 3,000 years ago. The Romans used it too, and throughout history, whenever a society decides less body hair is more attractive, beeswax suddenly makes a comeback. Of course, in many societies, hair removal for women has been a controversial beauty standard for many years. Today, you can even get many hair removal products for women that don't include actual wax at all, while others mix it in with resins or other agents to help soothe the skin and make the process easier and hopefully less painful. Men's hair removal techniques, however, have tended to lag behind, so when a fad like waxing a man's chest comes along, it tends to rely on the old standby, using wax to violently rip those hairs out. No nubs, no stubs, out by the root in one fell swoop. Commonly, a compound is warmed, applied to the area to be denuded, allowed to harden, and then removed, taking with it the unwanted hair. But since those hairs are eventually going to come back, men have to ask whether or not it's worth the pain and the potential side effects. Because no matter what body part you're waxing, there are consequences to trying to foil Mother Nature. First, you're likely to get redness and skin irritation following a waxing, so applying an antiseptic cream afterwards is a good idea. Even so, though, there are risks of infection. The most common type is called folliculitis, which the Mayo Clinic describes as, quote, a common skin condition in which the hair follicles become inflamed. Left untreated, they tell us, the condition can turn into non-healing crusty sores. Somehow that sounds a lot less appealing than just being hairy. There's also a risk of plain old garden variety pimples, not to mention ingrown hairs when those hairs inevitably grow back. So pretty much all the possible negative side effects are both painful and unsightly, which could defeat the entire purpose of getting waxed. And then there's also the possibility of an allergic reaction to whatever is being used to yank those hairs up and out. The more complicated the chemical makeup of the compound being used, the greater the possibility of the immune system reacting. So at least old-fashioned wax has some advantages over newfangled solutions and chemicals. It's not all bad news, though. Not all men who wax their chest end up with complications, and there's even one scientifically proven positive effect. A study published in the Wiley Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology found that waxing will reduce your body odor for up to 24 hours compared to trimming. Then again, so does shaving, so that's still an option. And then there's this to consider. Standards of beauty shift and change like the dunes of the Sahara, and one man's waxed rash could be another man's hairy treasure. At the end of the day, unless you're a professional swimmer or model, waxing is more or less a matter of personal preference. And if you're trying to impress a potential romantic partner, keep in mind that they're going to have their own ideas of beauty standards that may include a full shaggy rug on your chest. Just consider some of the men who have been considered the hottest dudes in the world in the recent past, like 70s icon Burt Reynolds. He had an aura of unwaning, unwaxed masculinity that held fans in thrall for years, and he wasn't shy about showing it off. After all, not everyone has a nice chest full of hair, so if you've got it, why not flaunt it instead of ripping it off? Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about your favorite hairy stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.